Get ready to be so inspired in Florence, you'll want to rename yourself Da Vinci 2.0.
Florence's cobblestone streets are basically a time machine to a world where beauty, art, and pasta was invented to soothe the soul.
We've been to Florence so you don't have to search for that perfect Instagram spot.
What's the one thing in Florence that makes even Michelangelo's David look modest?
Tough question, but I'm sure Steph will tell you later on. On to day one of our 4-day itinerary. First stop is Michelangelo David. Not me, the David. Maybe I should build a statue of myself.
Oh, please. Stop, David. The David is located in Galleria dell'Accademia. Once inside, prepare to feel utterly unaccomplished as you stand in awe of Michelangelo's marble masterpiece. Meanwhile, my David stares off like he's thinking, should I order pizza tonight?
Now who doesn't love pizza? More on that later. Walk over to San Marco Monastery. Stephanie swears it's super aesthetic.
The main reason to visit San Marco is to see the frescoes by Fra Angelico. This guy was a serious artistic genius. He painted these incredible scenes from the Bible directly onto the walls of the monks' cells.
Steph, now that we saw the David, what's grander than that?
The Duomo is seriously stunning. That dome is an architectural masterpiece, and the views from the top, worth every one of the 463 stairs to the top. You can clearly see the entire city spread out beneath you. It's a beautiful Renaissance painting come to life.
For real though, the Duomo or Cathedral de Santa Maria del Fiore is the fourth largest church in Europe. It took over 140 years to build, and it's a testament to the ingenuity and artistry of the Florentines.
Inside, the Duomo is just as impressive. The stained glass windows are mesmerizing, and the sheer size of the place will make you feel like a tiny ant. Day 2 is all about art, so channel your inner critic and just nod a lot and pretend you understand brushstrokes.
Uffizi Gallery is home to some of the most famous Renaissance masterpieces on the planet.
This place is basically the Louvre of Florence, but with more Italian flair and fewer creepy smiles. We're talking Botticelli, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci. The whole gang is here.
Palazzo Vecchio is steps away from the Uffizi. This fortress-palace combo is where Florence flexes its political history.
Once inside, you'll find a treasure trove of art and architecture. The Salone dei Cinquecento is a massive hall with stunning frescoes and sculptures, including Michelangelo's Venus of Victory.
You can climb the tower for panoramic views of the city, explore the lavish apartments of the Medici family, and even see the original death mask of Dante Alighieri.
Itinerario del terzo giorno, or our third day of the itinerary, takes us out of Florence. We rented a car at Santa Maria Novella train station. While David can only dream about driving a Ferrari, it's just not feasible with a baby.
Our trip takes us south to Tuscany region. Yep, we're about to become those people you see in those cheesy wine commercials, frolicking through vineyards and pretending to know the difference between a Merlot and a Cabernet.
There are tons of different day trips that you can take from Florence. Just tons. But we recommend heading to the Chianti region. It's known for picturesque villages, rolling hills, covered in vineyards, and of course, the world-famous Chianti Classico wine.
First stop is Siena. Not the Toyota Siena, but the city. Haha.
Siena's Piazza del Campo is goals. Picture a giant medieval square shaped like a shell, where they still hold horse races. Yes, actual horse races.
Visit the Siena Cathedral. This black and white striped Gothic masterpiece is so over the top that Stephanie is in awe.
Awe is right. Afterwards, climb the Torre de Mangia for insane panoramic views of the town and countryside. David calls it Florence's little cousin who grew up and got rich.
I say Chian, you say T. Chian,
T.
Chian,
T.
Chian.
T.
Continuing on to Chianti region, we book a winery tour and enjoy tasting at Castillo de Verrazzano vineyards.
This winery is known for its organic and biodynamic farming practices, which means they're all about sustainability and respecting the environment.
Their Chianti Classico Reserve is a standout, with its complex aromas and elegant structure.
Can't get enough wine, explorers? Then make your way to Badia de Coltebuno. Set in a 1,000-year-old abbey, this winery feels like stepping back in time into a Renaissance village. Their focus is organic and sustainable wines.
They produce a wide range of wines from Chianti Classico to Super Tuscans, and they're all delicious.
And they have a fantastic restaurant on site where you can enjoy a delicious meal paired with their wine.
After lunch, we made our way down to San Gimignano, the City of Towers.
The town totally looks like it's been photoshopped, IRL. The towers are like medieval skyscrapers.
Just imagine if every billionaire in your neighborhood built their own tower to flex. That's San Gimignano, but make it medieval.
Only in this city can you purchase Vernaccia wine. It's a crisp, dry white wine.
Vernaccia is the wine equivalent of finding out your friend is secretly a royal. It's understated but legit impressive.
Gelateria Dondoli is located in the main square, famous for flavors including saffron and blackberry with lavender.
Did you know they are world champion gelateria? Now that's a fact I can bite into.
And now for the grand finale. Val di Orsia. You've seen it on postcards, Pinterest boards, and in your dreams. Spoiler alert, it is totally better in real life.
Drive through rolling hills dotted with cypress trees and farmhouses. Stephanie squealed every 5 minutes, pointing at another adorable villa.
Be sure to stop in Pienza, a UNESCO-listed village famous for its pecorino cheese. And stop at Bagno Vignoni, a thermal spa town with a central square that's literally a giant pool.
Ottimo giorno a Firenze, or final day in Florence. But first, a little fun fact. American knows this city as Florence, whereas majority of the world calls it Firenze.
The story behind Florence's two names goes all the way back to the Roman Empire. See, Florence was founded way back in 59 BC as a Roman settlement. And guess what they call it? Florentina.
Florentia? Sounds like a fancy type of pasta. I'll have the Florentia with pesto and a side of gladiators, please.
Over time, as Latin evolved to Italian, Florentina gradually transformed into Firenze through natural linguistic shifts.
The English adopted the name Florence from Old French, which used a variation of the Latin name. During the Middle Ages, French influence on the English language was significant, and many places' names came into the English through the French.
After 3 days of art and history, it's time to indulge in some good old-fashioned consumerism. Plus, we need to buy some souvenirs for our moms. Hi Mary, hi Linda. Hope you like fridge magnets.
First stop, the Beaubali Gardens. The sprawling park behind the Pitti Palace is like a Renaissance wonderland with hidden fountains, secret grottos, and sculptures scattered amongst the manicured lawns.
Wander through the maze of paths, admire the fountains and sculptures, and even climb to the top of the hill for panoramic views of Florence.
After the gardens, let's head to the Altrano neighborhood, which is known for its artisan workshops and quirky shops. This is the place to find unique souvenirs, leather goods, and handcrafted jewelry.
And the best part, it's way more affordable than those fancy shops on the Ponte Vecchio. You can find some real treasures here without making your wallet cry.
Head to the Mercato de San Lorenzo, or Mercato Central, as the locals sometimes refer to it, and go up to the second floor for some street food.
And if you know David like I do, his love for street food is insane. The Mercato de San Lorenzo is actually two markets in one. There's an outdoor market, which is a maze of stalls selling everything from tourist trinkets to knockoff designer bags.
And then there's the indoor market, the Mercado Central. This is where the real foodie action happens. We're talking fresh produce, local meats and cheeses, and delicious street food stalls. It's a paradise for anyone who loves to eat.
The ground floor is dedicated to fresh produce, meats, cheeses, and pastas.
The upper level has a modern food court offering gourmet dishes from various Italian regions. This place is like a food court designed by Michelangelo himself.
This place is home to over a dozen vendors, each specializing in a different type of cuisine. You can find everything from wood-fired pizza to homemade pasta and artisanal gelato. It's like a culinary Italian tour all under one roof.
While you order food at the food vendor stalls, the waitstaff comes to your table to take your drinks order.
In Italy, tipping isn't as expected as it is in the US. A service charge is usually included on your bill, but it's customary to leave a few extra euros if you've got great service.
You can't leave Italy without devouring a plate of pasta, whether spaghetti carbonara, taglio al ragu, or noce in pesto. Each region has its own specialty. It's a celebration of simple ingredients done right. Fresh pasta, flavorful sauces, and a whole lot of love.
And speaking of love, let's talk pizza. Forget those greasy slices you get back home. In Italy, pizza is an art form.
The predominant style of pizza is Neapolitan, where the crust is thin, bend but don't break, has a slight chew to it, and cooked in a wood fire oven that gives it a smoky flavor.
You have got to try the bistecca alla Florentina. It's a thick-cut T-bone steak grilled to perfection. It's a carnivore's dream, juicy, flavorful, and big enough to share.
And if you're feeling adventurous, try the lamb predetto. It's a street food sandwich made with a tripe, a type of beef stomach. It may sound a little weird, but trust us, it's surprisingly delicious.
For a taste of Tuscany's countryside, try pappardelle de cinghiale. It's a hearty dish with wild boar ragu. It's rich, flavorful, and perfect for chilly evenings.
And don't forget about the truffles, no treble. These underground fungi are like diamonds of the culinary world, and they add an earthy, luxurious flavor to any dish. Whether it's shaved over pasta or infused in oil, truffles are a must-try for any foodie visiting Florence.
If you're a fan of minestrone soup, then give raviolita a try. It's a hearty Tuscan soup made of stale bread, vegetables, and beans. Delicious.
Besides Chianti and Vernaccia wines, there's also different aperitifs. Aperol and Campari are both Italian aperitifs that are similar but have distinct flavors and uses.
Aperol is lighter and sweeter, with a milder bitterness and a bright citrus profile. It is the main ingredient of the Aperol spritz, while Campari goes into the Negroni.
Campari is more intense and bitter, with a complex, layered flavor that includes strong herbal, citrus, and spice notes. Plus, its color is dark red.
There are just way too many good restaurants to choose from in Florence. We use Google Maps for restaurants and ratings. Pretty much everywhere rates a 4.7 or better. That's how we usually make our choices for dining.
Speaking of Google Maps, it doesn't work well in Florence even with a roaming plan. We suggest you download offline maps so it'll be easier to navigate.
Using Google Translate also helps with what the locals are saying, but it doesn't hurt to learn a few basic language phrases. Even if you butcher the pronunciation, the locals will appreciate your effort.
Like Venice, Florence streets are made from cobblestone, so comfy shoes are a must.
Most shops do take credit cards, but it wouldn't hurt to have a few euro for tipping or small purchases.
Florence isn't a city to check off. Stroll through its streets, soak in the art, and savor the atmosphere.
You'll be surprised at how many local artists sell their paintings. Most of them are really talented. We did end up purchasing a few pieces for our collection. Support small businesses and local artisans.
The city is famous for its leather, but many street vendors sell low-quality knockoffs. Stick to reputable shops. There's generally a difference between street vendors versus store shops. We were shocked on how many high-end retail stores are in Florence.
The best time to visit is spring or fall. The weather is warm, but not hot, and there's definitely fewer crowds, making exploring a dream.
Firenze is best explored on foot. Most of the city center is on a ZTL, meaning cars are restricted unless you have a permit. Taxis are also another option.
The easiest option from getting to the airport to your accommodation is the Tramvia, Florence's light rail system. It's affordable, efficient, and will take you directly to the city center.
Not if you have all the baby gear or a ton of bags. Then hop in a taxi and provide them the address on your phone. Not all taxi drivers speak good English.
If you're a U.S. resident, then no visa is required for stays under 90 days. It's part of the Schengen Agreement. Just make sure your passport is valid for at least 6 months beyond your travel dates.
Don't forget about the Italian tourist tax. There are several cities that will ask for a contribution during your stay on their territory.
To date, the tourist tax depends on various factors, such as the accommodation star rating and number of nights spent in the hotel. Generally, the amount of tourist tax ranges between 1 to 5 euro per day per person.
Florence is a living masterpiece that winks at you from every cobblestone and hugs your soul with Renaissance splendor.
Florence is like a Michelangelo masterpiece that you get to live inside. But listen up, because Rome's about to be your all-access pass to ancient drama and divine pizza.
Plus, we'll discuss more in depth of what a jubilee is and importance in Rome. A vera dirty por ora, alla prossima settimana.